Yeah, I haven't posted state of the game or anything lately. I think I've already mentioned this in my last vlog, but I've been off playing Bastion and got through it on normal mode. Very fun, incredible fun. I messed up the audio a bit though, so I'm having to redo that, which is why it's taking so long for me to actually upload it. Um, I would really like to play it on New Game Plus mode at the minute, like turn all the gods on, turn the difficulty up to maximum, but I don't have the hard drive space to record it. One playthrough of the game, which I think took somewhere between 8 and 10 hours over. No, actually, I think it's. No, actually, it probably took between 15 and 20, actually. I did it all in 2 days, and I used Fraps, and I recorded it on the maximum that I could within the system, and it took up 800 gigs of hard drive space. I mean, I got a 2 terabyte hard drive, so that's not a problem for it to take up 800 gigs. But if I do the what I choose to call the second half of the game, do a new game plus mode of it, it's going to take up the 700 odd I've got left. So I've got to rend these other parts together, which means redoing the audio, which is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Which, as I say, I've been distracted over the last few days, so I'm plugging away at it, and I will get there eventually. Eventually, but it's taking far too long. Um, I'm kind of concerned at the minute that I'm not producing enough videos because I've got to try and build up an audience. And this guy called Harley Morenstein and a few other successful casters on YouTube have all said basically the same thing, which is you've got to provide consistent content. As in, yeah, there's a SourceFed interview. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. Yeah, SourceFed interview done on Sunday with Elliot, who's one of the presenters, and Harley Morenstein, who they got in from Epic Mealtime. He said, the way you make a successful channel is that you produce consistent content, and I haven't been doing that. So that said, I don't like what Harley Morenstein does on his channel because I can't watch it and not think, way to glorify American excess, you fat bastard. I mean, okay, he's a good entertainer, but I mean, seriously, you're going to eat that kind of food and just try to make light of engorging yourself on it? It's like, no, that's disgusting. I mean, as I say, the guy's a good entertainer, but what he does on his channel is deplorable. It's funny actually when he said that when he was starting up his channel, he was doing it with, or he does it. I'm not sure because, as I said, I don't watch it, but apparently he works with someone, and what they said they were going to do is like 5 or 6 days a week they would do a workout video type thing, and then on Sunday they would switch over to what then became Epic Mealtime, which is basically where they just engorge themselves on junk food. Like, I think his words were, no, I can't remember exactly what he said, but Sunday they would just break their diet basically. And apparently, once they started doing Epic Mealtime, they just continued on with doing that all the time. And I thought, what a shame that was. You know, you go to make what effectively would be like a healthy, socially responsible channel, and then you wind up with epic fucking mealtime. It's like, dude. But yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy, but his content, no. One thing that did make me laugh though was they got this model in. I think her name was Catlin. Pretty hot. Yeah, pretty hot, I must admit. But she stood there in bikini between the guys for like most of the video, and she just had like this fixed smile on her face throughout the entire thing, and it was just so funny. I mean, I get it. I get why she was there. It was like fan service wallpaper for the guys, and it was completely within the tone of the video and Harley Morenstein's like content, what he does on YouTube. But I find it so funny when you have like these beautiful women in on these types of events, and they don't actually serve any real purpose to the whole thing. They just stand there with like fixed grins, looking hot, but that's all they do. They don't actually serve any function or anything. I mean, if she was there, if she wasn't there, wouldn't make any difference. All it really did was just make me laugh because it's like you got a model between you with a fixed grin on her face. Why? Why was that necessary? That's one thing that bloody annoys me about conventions. Like you go to, I saw some no, I saw some footage on the game station about the Games Developers Conference or GDC 2012, and they had like this show where they took half a dozen babes, basically, dressed them up in bikinis and had them prance around on a platform stage thing. And whenever I see stuff like that, especially at something like a games developers conference, which I care about quite a bit because I'm a games developer conference, hello. But yeah, whenever they have like booth babes and stuff, the booth babe culture type stuff at these events, I just think you haven't got enough confidence in your own product. You haven't got enough belief that what you've made is a good and interesting thing for people to come and see. You have to dress it up with TNA. It's like that's pathetic. You shouldn't need that. If you're confident in your product, if you believe in what you're doing, and you believe that people will be interested in what you're doing, you don't need to get people, you don't need to get women even, up on the stage in bikinis. You don't need to do it. It's unnecessary, and it makes you look pretty pathetic. That is my opinion on the entire subject. Yeah, your product should speak for itself. And I'd be horrified if somebody did it to mine, to the presentation of my product. I mean, I I wouldn't mind it so much if they actually got like if they got a hot geek, right, to present it. There are celebrities and models and things who are nerds and geeks and things, and they're really hot. Getting someone who is attractive and a nerd up on the stage and have them present it, that's fine. That's pretty cool. Assuming she wasn't wearing a bikini anyway. Yeah, just like having those types of shows, those those kind of booths at that kind of convention. I don't think it's necessary, and I think it's pretty wrong. Yeah, state of the game. I'm getting pretty good at doing state of the game. Or at least my last one was pretty good. I mean, the Bioshock 3 segment was pretty crap, but the rest of it was pretty good. I've got to get into the habit of like talking about the game more, because the reason why the Bioshock 3 segment was pretty crap was because in that segment what I talked about was personal opinion. What I should have said was that Bioshock 3 is out then, it's made by, after the success of, they're currently doing this because of this, and it leads on from this, etc., etc. I should have tied it up more rather than just saying, hey, this is going to be cool, and this is the release that they've currently made. And yeah, as I said about consistency, I've got to get into the habit of producing one every weekday. But as I said, I sidetracked onto Bastion, so I mean that's the thing. Bastion. Once I've actually done it, I can post one a day for like at least 4 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. Just like one 30-minute episode every day, a level a day. But at the moment, I'm not producing anything because I'm trying to redo the Bastion audio to make it better, to make it serviceable, and that means I'm not uploading any content. So, and I've stopped getting any views on any other videos on my channel. So, I've got to get enough content in there to actually make my presence known. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that at the moment, and it's a problem. I could probably also use better advertising as well. Like on Facebook, I've got a Facebook account, but it's a token thing. There's nothing in it. And I've got a personal Twitter account, but that's set to private to avoid the spammers. And yeah, there's no one plugging my channel or anything anywhere else. So these are all issues that I need to address. I need to produce consistent, even consistent episodic content, and I need to get more content up, and I need to get proper advertising pathways open, and I need to get some gameplay videos up there as quickly as possible. I just need to actually start getting more work uploaded and less on my hard drive. So yeah, I'm going to go get to that. I will deal with it. I generally do, eventually, anyway.